estoy intentando coger estos dos vídeos escala. No me he dejado. Bueno, ahora sí. No sé qué ha pasado. Internet viene colado, supongo. En fin. A la vez. Vamos a guardar un poco de esto. Que se hace un tesoro. ¿Sí? ¿Sí, no? Aquí está. Aquí. No tiene pinta, pero... Pues va a tardar un huevo hasta... pues a lo mejor hay que esperar esos 7 segundos, porque no tengo ni puta idea. Vamos a ver. Ah, que sos de fondo, ¿no? ¿Cómo? ¿Está dentro? Pero... que quería poner a buscarme eso. Ay, quita. ¿Qué pasa? Ahora. Vale, pues. Estamos muchísimo al toque de videoclip. Estaba metido en el videoclip. No me quiero transportar. Flipante, ¿eh? Flipante. Me dan por culo tener que pasar por... Me dan por culo.
Windblade!
Go as one! Go as one! By royal decree.
¿Otro?
Go as one!
Can't run from death.
Bueno. Vamos a por él.
Snow. Remember, tend to your boots when we return.
Let's not waste time.
¿Listos qué?
Is that Albedo? Why would he hang around a place like
He
this?
empezado esta misión y no me he dado cuenta. Es lo de Rosemary, ¿no?
The word on the street is he loves painting. He'll hang around anywhere for a good landscape. The views and scenery here are pretty good. Potential paintings everywhere you look.
But can't he see those hilichurls? Isn't he in danger? Uh-oh. Looks like we startled them. Enough talk! Let's take them out of the picture first!
Who are you? Why did you alarm them? Thank the gods I'd already completed my painting. Would have been a shame to leave these particular hilichurls unfinished.
What's up with painting hilichurls? What makes them so...
I'm afraid the answer isn't easy to explain. If you'd like to have a look at my painting, it may give you a clue.
Wow! Look at the detail!
You can find these hilichurls anywhere. Quite boring, in fact. Not worth... But take a look at this specimen. The build, the coat, and the cyclical lives of such primitive communities. Such unique attributes are an indication of evolution at work.
Hold your horses. Something tells me we're in for a thesis and I haven't got the sting. We found your man. I'm headed back.
Pues nada, adiós, chavala. Venga, tira por ahí.
What? Don't you have any questions for him? What a weird...
So Sister Rosaria brought you. Surprising, but back to the point. From her word...
We met a girl in Mondstadt, Sucrose. She said you were stuck with your research.
I see. So Sucrose sent you here. Then, if I'm not mistaken, you must be... I've heard a bit of everything. Your actions during Storm Terror's attack, your elemental control, and quite a few other mysterious things. I'll skip to the conclusion. There's only one possibility after all. You came from afar. From another world, correct? Excellent. If I could procure your assistance, I think my research would benefit enormously. Forgive me. This must be confusing. Where should I begin?
Whoa. You want to start with...
You're right. Giving a demonstration would be better than trying to explain. For example, awakening life. Breathing new life into fallen leaves.
You can do that?
However, I have a particular seed in my possession. The method it's like you, in that it hails from another world. Helping it to grow.
Well, if you're struggling to figure it out,
I beg to differ. I'm unable to comprehend the intricacies of... But you're not from the known world. By observing and researching you...
Shall we just get out of here? This sounds a little freaky.
Mora, knowledge, and the answer to the question you are seeking. Time for a change of surroundings. We should be going. There's research to do.
Albedo and that traveler seem to have hit it off. Takes a weirdo to know one, I guess. I wonder, does this constitute a risk to Mondstadt?
Paimon has a question. After the seed sprouts, will it grow into anything?
quiero informar de que por fin he conseguido al viajero, a Nemo, full constelación. Y al Geo también. Estoy en paz conmigo mismo. Solo eso, chavales. ¿En qué se convertirá? En un ingeniero.
I don't know, but I feel the importance will lie in them. Using alchemy to awaken otherworldly life into that would constitute a big leap in my understanding of the essence of life.
Muy poco satisfactorio el curarte, o sea, en plan... Luego estás con dudas existenciales, depresión... Y bueno... Espera que me ha llenado el ojo con el bostezo y tampoco le ría. Vale.
After awakening, even creation may be possible.
No voy a hacer de narrador, aunque lo haría muy bien, ¿eh? Pero no lo voy a hacer.
Still a little difficult.
No, Paimon's got a brain.
Sí, hija, sí.
But what's the seed gonna become? Isn't that more interesting than whatever it was you were saying?
Well, if it turns out to be a delicious fruit, dinner's on me.
Yay! Paimon's holding you to it.
Well, let's just say I, occasionally have to look after a child. Another lengthy explanation, I'm afraid.
Venga,
I suppose it's one of the few non-alchemy-related disciplines I'm any good at. The subject of my first research was the elements. In this world, manipulating the elements requires a vision. How you're able to freely manipulate elemental power is something I'd like to ascertain. Firstly, do you have any extra organs? A second heart? A fourth stomach? Things of that nature. Fascinating. And this floating child is connected to your...
What a stupid question! Can't you see the gap between... And another thing, it's Paimon, not floating child.
Huh?
I was merely considering the possibility that you were an external organ. Perhaps there is some invisible force connecting you. Oh, that rules out that possibility. I wonder... Did Paimon guide the elemental power to you? But that would mean that Paimon's elemental power would be enough to break through a mountain rock at least 10 meters thick. Or cause the waterfall south of Springville to flow backward. No, that definitely can't be it.
Hey! How would you know anyway?
In that case, it would appear that there's no obvious difference between the Given that there's clearly a discrepancy in her research, it seems that only... Firstly, this mysterious elemental power. I'd like to examine exactly how it manifests externally. Let me lure a few slimes to the area. Perhaps you'd be able to defeat them, using what...
Huh? Doesn't seem...
Direct and clear observation are imperative to a good experiment. This is just a simple exercise. Naturally, if you require a greater challenge, we could bring in 6 Oceanids.
Slimes! Slimes are fine!
Well, prepare yourself. The slimes will be here any moment.
Vale, resulta que había una teoría al principio, joder. No será nada.
Odd, reveal thyself! Fine, fine, go!
Disappear!
No hacer dos cosas a la vez. Probablemente decir aquí un chiste muy chiste, pero bueno, ahora mismo. ¿Otra vez? ¿Más?
Jumpy, jumpy, go!
Y bueno.
Great work. Did you feel anything out of the... If you're injured,
Sí, que soy el
I have a few
puto-
emergency potions ready. Excellent. According to my observations, the manifestation of the external elemental flow is as expected. Elemental reactions are normal.
El rol.
There's nothing out of the ordinary.
No, no sé qué decir.
Now that we know that the external flow is manifesting normally, let's test the internal flow.
Internal flow?
It's very simple. I can use alchemy to create a potion that will If the elemental power is stored or accumulated physically within your body, this potion may elicit an elemental reaction.
Sounds kinda terrible.
Don't worry. In the normal course of events, you'd feel some temporary...
And in the...
If anything unexpected occurs, I've made the necessary preparations. Try not... Well, it's not that there aren't any risks involved. But if there is any... Just a warning. If an internal elemental reaction occurs for any other reason... Yes, that's an excellent way to think about it. Before we get started, the potion we'll use for the test is missing a catalyst. It's a type of ore known as star silver. But unfortunately, not all of it is suitable. I'll take you to my campsite. We can gather some star silver ore on the way. I'll point out any light. All going to plan. We should be able to...
Paimon's still got a few safety concerns, but it seems like there's a silver lining. Let's keep our eyes open.
Yo tengo kusukas aquí, ¿no? Me han puesto ya el de Kazuha, ¿no? Ojo, no nos deja ver. Nos deja ver lo que hay, no pasa nada, que yo os lo digo. Está cargando. Sigue siendo el evento de las 1000 preguntas de Paimon. Pero no sé, ayer me metí. O sea, sí, ayer me metí. Pero de alguna manera nunca me dejo continuarlo en el mundo, así que no pasa nada. Lo intentaré mañana. Inicio de sesión. Tengo cosas que hacer, me dan por culo. Ojo libro. Pero espérate, esto es técnico.
Here. Should do for catalyst purposes.
Pero está bien.
Jumpy Dumpty go! Sparks and flash!
Si sobrevivís a esto, yo... Pero de siempre. Ah, no. Pues...
This one. Usable with a bit of polish.
¿Qué coño es eso? ¡Ah, con el frío! ¡Ah! ¡Cógete! ¡Cógete! ¡Cógete!
What luck. This should be enough. My campsite is just up ahead. I'll lead the way.
Menos mal que habría tiempo, chaval. ¿Está hecho el cuento así? O sea, una posta.
This is my campsite. I've added them. While we are waiting, have a look over here.
Sí, sí, que luego te voy a robar todo lo que tengas por las mesas. Y eso pues, también.
My assistant Timaeus here is helping me with my research.
Hello! I've just gotten hold of the data from your experiment. The report is all...
Whoa! Look at all the data! results from...
I wouldn't call them results, inferences, and a few I think the most rational direction would be to expound on the phylogenetic relationship between this traveler and the slimes. Consider. You don't have a vision, but you can manipulate elemental energy. The slimes don't have visions either, yet they too are able to manipulate the elements.
No me había parado a pensarlo.
Following this line of thought, I'm sure we'll be able to establish a basis.
Not bad for a point of entry. But strictly speaking, slimes are elemental life forms. In other words, a cryoregisvine or even a whopperflower might be a better analogy. But tracing back the phylogenetic relationships between plants and animals, in that sense, things might get difficult, don't you think?
Yes, sir. That sounds correct.
After all, we've got our primary data already. If it turned out that he did have a phylogenetic relationship with this world...
Ah, it would. Apologies. I was so excited to get the data. Speaking of data, to complete our research, we'll need some more. I'll be conducting analysis here for the time being. If you're keen for...
Great, I'll leave you to it. Looks like the potion's ready. I'll try a little first. In line with my expectations. Ready? Remember to keep calm at all.
No.
You feel unwell.
Vale, esperad un segundo. Es que estaba comprobando la batería del mando. Pues sí, me ha quedado. Se ha traído la pinturita. Madre mía. Vamos a hacer esto para que tenga un poco de sentido el roleo. Y la cosa es saber dónde está. Está en comida. No está en comida. Oh, por cierto, chavales, mira, estoy farmeando aquí algunos cuantos artefactos. Van a hacer mucha falta para nuestra querida Gazu. Estoy hypeado, la verdad, ¿qué queréis que os diga? He visto que es buena esta mierda, así que la usaré a fuego. Veo que tiene porcentaje de ataque, así que más razón para usarla. Probabilidad de crítico. Madre mía, más estilo elemental. Es una paja de artefacto. Dios mío, no me había parado a verlo. Es un pedazo pajote de artefacto, chaval. Estoy flipando. Pero la poción aquí está. ¿Y ahora qué me pasará? ¡Me puto quemo!
Tasty? You've got a funny look on your face. You said you tried some already. You sure it was ready?
Oh, this was the result I was expecting. This potion channels elemental power into the body. Under normal... But if the internal elemental flow is unimpeded, you'll only experience momentary discomfort.
So you knew you'd be sick and still drank some?
It was my own concoction, of course. Only natural for me to be the guinea pig. Perhaps it's just scholarly self-assurance, and it certainly speeds things up. In conclusion, I'd say we have our conclusion. As far as elemental energy is...
Aw, Paimon wanted something cool.
Then again, better an ordinary result than a peculiar result. Peculiar results have a tendency to be of the... undesirable variety. The good thing about ordinary is that everything is an object of reference, and people are the same. They can understand, empathize, encourage, and support one another. When you're sick, A doctor can diagnose you because they are you. When something goes wrong, you can ask people who've made the same, but a peculiar person. They don't have much recourse for the things we take for granted. The essence of, for example, a human can't understand the life of a pyroregisvine or an eye of the storm. Have I explained it clearly enough? To sum up, this has been a positive outcome. Going forward, you can use Timaeus. The results of the new experiment are out. If you could see to collating them.
Just a moment, sir. I'll handle it. Oh, you gave me a lot to consider. Really stretched my limits. I'm thinking a lot clearer now. Having you down as an animal wasn't very precise of me. But starting with the premise of an elemental life form? Now...
Not bad. I think it's an interesting line of inquiry. Whatever the truth of the matter, I'd like your research at the fore as opposed to my judgment.
You can count on me, sir. I'll extract a
Is he trying to join the Knights? He what Paimon meant to say was...
Before we can proceed with our research, if you're interested, why not have a look around?
Pues nada, a ver qué pasa. ¿Qué pasa? Si la toco... Lo sabía que era el cartel, el último.
Here comes Albedo! Let's go see him!
¿Dónde? Pues no viene. La verdad que se ha quedado ahí, pero...
I'm back. Did you see anything interesting? Not to worry. They're all for alchemical purposes. Well, on with the research. There may be significant difference. Take Tevat, for example. Here, those with vision, but worlds may well exist where only one person is able to do so. Or so, leaving elements to one side. Do you possess any... I think answering this question calls for the same methodology as last time. In other words, time for the next experiment. No. You shan't be Now, see this pillar here? Use your willpower to try and break it.
You think Paimon knows how to do...
That was your best effort? Have you tried using your elemental power with food? I don't mean for cooking, as such. I'm curious to see how the taste and texture respond. It may even help with proliferation. I suppose I have a... Anyway, why don't you cook us up a sunshine sprat?
Cooking? Paimon was looking...
Not only is this recipe a staple for me, it's also worth experimenting with and highly nutritious.
Paimon bets you're just hungry. That does sound yummy, though. Okay, Paimon approves. Good buddies are always on the same page.
I'll leave you to it then. Looking forward to the results. If there's anything left over, maybe Timaeus can finish...
Paimon doesn't think we'll have that problem. How are we gonna channel elemental power into the food? Maybe try the willpower thing again. Where does he get these ideas from anyway?
That was fast. Looking forward...
Let's just do it the old-fashioned way.
Bueno, y aquí. Pescado de algo era. Aquí. Pues nada. Pound. Chao. Tremendo nivel de dificultad el que tenemos aquí en este juego.
was fast.
Ten pibes.
An average outcome experimentally, but you've really... As far as the proliferation hypothesis is concerned, we've come up short. Seems like food presents the same headache. Unless... Could it be that the nat...
We just didn't know how to channel elemental power into the food. It's a little more complicated than adding herbs and spices, you know.
Not to worry. At least we put some food to good use. And here's your portion. Enjoy. I can box it up if...
Woohoo! Thanks! Glad you were paying attention.
I can tell that you're good friends. Paimon was keeping an eye on you and your safety during... Not that Paimon would have been able to do much if things had gone wrong.
Hey! You were being nice a second ago. But you do have tasty recipes, so Paimon forgives you. And you're right, we are good friends. You have good friends too, right?
Yes. I'm fortunate too, I suppose. Anyway, moving on to the next experiment. There are all manner of alchemical items here. Keeping them in their proper place is a challenge at the best. I managed to retrieve the majority, but 2 vials have been evading me.
La verdad que demasiado texto,
Paimon's barely
hermano.
finished
Te lo
eating, and you
juro
want us
por
to go
Dios.
gathering again?
Don't worry if you can't locate them. I was planning to replace them anyway. If you had,
Que
say,
son las 5:17
vision or
yo
vibratory
creo.
sensing, a lost property would be a... I must have dropped them somewhere in the air.
So, guess we'd better take a look. Oh yeah! You could use elemental sight!
Joder.
This must be electrohypostasis powder! The extract of an animo crystal fly can only be animo elemental energy, right? This has gotta be it! Still in one piece! Good thing the vial's so strong!
Venga, por favor. Vale.
Goodness, you managed to find... I'm wondering, this elemental...
Yep! Guess it does sorta count.
Unfortunately, though elemental sight is only a never-before-seen other world...
You mean, we failed?
Don't be disheartened. This falls entirely within my expectations. Besides, I have to commend your deduction that the items would contain elemental trait. Right then. Up until now, our research has focused on your otherworldly identity. Our research on your identity as one of us is, in essence, the differences between humans are reflected in our intellectual and physical capabilities. Looking out from where we're standing, can you see what Sucrose is doing? And if you jumped from here and landed on that cliff, the one over there, could you see her then? So what about if you planted a single blow on the mountain face here, and it burst into a million fragments? Then could you see her? Then I shouldn't get too excited. Still, we'll gain a more thorough understanding with an experiment. I know of a location that will be perfect for a physical test. Please, follow.
Ah, tío, este hombre está testeando a full. A full. Ah, la puta mierda. Mira, hasta ahí quiere que suba. Qué puto caliente, ¿no? No... No se nota como no está. ¡Ojito! ¡Ojito, papá! ¡Ojito! ¡Ojito, papá! ¡Ojito, ojito! ¡Ojito! No se me ha comido. Hombre, el sacerdote. Dame un momento para chequear eso. Otra vez la misma mierda. Seguramente que recolecto los tres y me vuelven a hacer como los de niño. está. Pero madre de las cojones, métetelo por los huevos, marico. 2000. No, 2000 no. 2002. Va a ser gilipollas. 2 millones, no sé. No voy a darlo. Y si estoy equivocado, no sé de la próxima. Si me apuro. Vaya, le puedo cambiar al este para seguir el orden.
You want...
Not necessarily. Not if you know of a better method, that is. Whichever method you choose, the experiment will end when you reach the opposite. I will factor the time expended and your top speed into my compare.
The opposite side of the lake. So, we're gonna...
Without limitations, we complete tasks intuitively. Using the method, some of us would be unable to stand the icy waters. Others might. No matter what choice you make, it's all a part of the experiment. For me, every detail is invaluable to the research. Then if you would, please, I eager...
Wait a minute. While we're busy testing, what exactly are you gonna be doing?
Me? Recording data, responding to risks, providing emotional support.
So if we do decide to go swimming, you gonna dive in with us?
No. Unless you're thinking of conducting competitive research?
Oh! Forget Paimon said anything.
Vamos ahí, con fuego. Este ya está la polla de...
Great
Esta
work.
mierda.
I've never seen a perform. Your reputation precedes you, traveler. The data shows that you...
But you followed us the whole...
Me? Actually, I used alchemy to... If it turns out that the natural laws of Tavad do not affect you, I should be... If the natural laws of Tavad do affect you, then I shall be able to make the innumerable possibilities that this could present, the captivating insights.
But how does this help your research?
You've helped me to unravel many of the problems that were holding it back. When we return to the campsite, I should be able to show you something interesting. I may be about to make some analogies between you and a few unusual gold, petrified trees, a sun 8 times the size of our own. The essence research, and yet specimens are finite. As the unknown transitions into the realm of scientific understanding, all these things that start out as objects of fascination end up possessing the prosaic mundanity of a Sunsetia.
Oh, so that's why you wanted to paint those hilly turtles? Because you got to see something new and interesting in the differences between them?
Así te lo digo.
Precisely. To quote my exact words from earlier, these creatures are, for the most part, quite boring, not worth closer inspection. There is precious little about them that's...
So after all these experiments, are we gonna be like...
Of course not. You have been of great assistance to me, and I will remember this friendship for a lifetime. Now, before we head back to the campsite, follow me. There are some other ruins.
Lo siento, pero eso que me dé la parte más aburrida, porque ahora tocaba una mazmorra y yo, después de todo el tostón que me he comido, la verdad que yo me quiero ir a dormir. Estoy en el cama mismo, jugando de pan ahí. Se me cierran los ojos solos y yo bostezando la hostia. Así que chavales, una despedida digna esperáis. Pues no, porque nadie me va a venir a ver. Pues nada, este ha sido mi regreso en Genshin Impact. Estamos en verano, así que supongo que haré bastantes cosas ahora que tengo tiempo. Volver a tener el canal un poco más vivo. Y eso, tío, a lo mejor subo algo de Fortnite. Porque he vuelto y estoy consiguiendo la skin de Rick. Pero a fuego, ¿eh? A fuego. Pero la verdad es que ahora mismo estoy más a fuego al Genshin Impact. Pero bueno, como siempre, un placer. Nos vemos en próximos vídeos. Hasta luego, chavales. Os quiero.